Morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Too loud?
No.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for inviting us. I'm Peter Lawson. I'm Peter Lawson. And did I ruin it? Good now? Okay. I'm with RSVP at the Worcester Senior Center. And we're here to do some singing and dancing for you. Just kidding. I wanted to see the crew panic. We're going to do some short skits. The RSVP saw a need for protecting, especially seniors, from a lot of the fraud that goes on in our country today, which is kind of sad to say. I'm sure those of us that have been through a few generations, we've seen a decline in how we all treat each other sometimes. But fraud is a real serious problem for seniors. Why is it a problem? Well, most seniors, a high percentage of seniors live alone. So they have no one to ask advice when they're there alone. They have fixed incomes, so any financial loss is a real hardship for them. There's folks out there that want to take advantage of that. What we're going to show you today are 4 scenes. The first one is going to be showing you how easy it is for someone to get into the fraud business. And the second scene is going to show you how the folks that do the fraud get information from you. A lot of people will say, gee, well, if somebody calls me asking about the IRS or this, I'm not going to give them any information. Well, these folks are so good at it that you give them information without you even knowing it. And you got to think of it this way. You may get 2 or 3 calls in your lifetime from people committing fraud. They might do 200 calls a day. So they're far more experienced and knowledgeable about this than we are. The third one is going to be one that goes to computers. So they can commit fraud over the computers. And the fourth one is going to be different angles of how people get you committed to make your resources available. There's some love connections going on, and you'll see when we do each one. So, should anyone have questions or have a comment during our little skits, feel free to raise your hand or stand up, and we'd be happy to. And if you can't hear us, let us know, because these are kind of new and we're not good at it, as you can tell. Also, don't be surprised if some of us are reading from scripts, because we don't know what part we're playing kind of till we get here, and we don't all have great memories. Any questions from anyone? We ready to go? Yep. All right.
One of the first things I'll say is regarding equipment, I can't get this one to work, so I'll project.
He's loud enough. My friend here is at a table in a place like this, and I walk in and say, hey John, how are you?
Hey, not bad. How you doing?
Good, nice to see you.
Oh, actually, I'm a bit low. Think you could loan me a few bucks?
A bit low, you look pretty high to me. If I had some, I would, but I'm sorry, man. I'm a little tight myself. I need some major cash too.
It sounds like you and me need to talk.
Yeah, well, you want to do something like a one-time thing, maybe hitting a bank or something we can depend on a steady stream of income?
Oh, wait a minute, Brody. A steady stream of income, something we can depend on. I don't deal no drugs. I never have, never will.
Okay, that's really not what I'm talking about, though. You got to listen to me.
Okay, all right, pull me in.
Well, I know a woman.
You must think you're Rudy Valentino. You always say you know a woman.
Well, you make a point. Maybe I am like Valentino.
Go on, go on.
Well, this woman friend, she's always telling me she's got this list, see?
No, I don't see.
Well, if you stop interrupting, maybe you will. The list has the names and phone numbers of senior citizens in different parts of the country. who've recently lost a husband or a wife in the past year. You choose an area code and you choose a Patsy.
Who's Patsy?
Oh, come on. You're not too swift, are you? A Patsy, a target. Somebody you go after for their money. Senior citizens are the best Patsies. Doesn't take too much to get them to trust you. They could be lonely, like their husband or friends have already passed. You go after their hearts first, and then their pocketbooks. Who are they going to ask for advice? The kids? Come on. Kids are all too busy these days. No one has time for the old folks. You just got to talk them up real nice, and then swish. Like that, you're in the money. You're in the money. You're in the money.
All right, I got it. What do we do?
Well, first we buy a list from my friend, and then we start calling. Come on. So what you've seen is just a simple conversation. A lot of people on fixed incomes, somebody has a little adventurous spirit, and the scammer has somebody that's going to help them and learn how to do the scams. And today, with all the computerization we have, everybody you deal with on the internet or in the mail has your information, and they all sell it. Years and years ago, I was on the board of the American Lung Association, and when I became chairperson, I found out that we were selling our donor list to magazine companies, medical companies, everybody. So we were asking you for money, and then we were making the real money off of the list that we sold. So consider that whenever you do business in the mail, on the computer, they're selling your list, and that's how people get this. You could call up, I used to sell antiques as a hobby. I could get a mailing list of everybody that was an antique collector or dealer in a certain geographic area. You can get a list for everything. So now my friend John is going to have a list of vulnerable people throughout a certain part of the country. Now we're going to change to the telephone.
Hello?
Oh, hello. I'm trying to reach someone named...
Betty?
Yeah, that's right, Betty. May I speak with her?
Well, you are speaking with her. I'm Betty.
Oh, there must be some mistake. You sound a bit too young to be Betty. The woman I'm looking for was married to my old buddy, Sam.
Oh, I'm afraid you do have the wrong person. My husband's name was Roy Sampson.
You said was? I'm sorry to hear that. Did you lose your Roy?
No, that's okay. Roy passed away last year.
Oh, very sorry. I didn't mean to cause you any pain. Gee, it is good to have someone to speak with, though. You see, I lost my wife Angela last summer, too.
You did? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I really miss her every single day, but I'm sure you're busy. Too busy to hear me go on and on.
Well, actually,
May I tell you something? Sometimes there's just no one who will take the time to listen.
I will.
You will, Betty?
Yes.
You know, I feel like I've known you for a long, long time. Like I could share anything with you. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, I suppose I do. How did you lose your wife?
Oh, poor Angela. Well, actually, how did you lose Roy?
Oh, it was a stroke.
Oh, Angela, too. It was so sudden. You know, you just never prepared for something like that, you know?
I sure do. At least my Roy provided for me, so I have none of those worries.
Well, that's good. That's real good. Some people have it tough after they lose their spouse. Angela was real good with our finances, but boy, I've made a few mistakes.
Well, it can't be all that bad.
Well, actually it is. I'm out here on my ranch in Montana, and things weren't so great last year with the drought and all. Had to take out a second mortgage around the time Angela passed. Now I'm really struggling.
Oh, that's not too good.
No, especially when you want to do things that'll bring you a little happiness and some company, you know?
Such as?
Well, such as taking a little trip, you know, to visit somebody who makes you smile. Someone like you, Betty.
Really? Me? You'd like to visit me all the way from Montana?
Yes, indeedy, I surely would.
How very nice. I think I've made a love connection.
What was that? What did you say?
Oh, nothing really. Just wondered about the flight connections. When do you think you could visit?
Well, how soon would you want me? Of course, maybe I'm being a bit too forward here. Maybe you've got plans.
Actually, I have no plans. Why don't you come next week? Check on flights and let me worry about getting you from the airport.
Well, I sure would like to do that, but you know, I'm not flush.
What? You need to flush?
No, hold it, no. Have no cash, you know, flush. Have no cash for a ticket right now. You know, because of the second mortgage I was telling you about. I'm going to have to wait a few months to make this trip. Until I get some money coming in from the winter wheat.
Well, maybe I could help.
What? You? Well, I'd be a bit too embarrassed for that. An old cowboy like me borrowing from you.
Well, I don't see why not. It's not like we're getting any younger. Let's be crazy and wild. I'll send you the money for the ticket.
Well, if you insist. Even with your generosity, I'm going to have to wait until I can make the mortgage. How's it going to look with me flying out of here, the mortgage not being paid? And it's a whopper.
How big?
Really, I'm just too uncomfortable with this. Maybe we should just let this go.
Nothing doing. How big?
Well, the mortgage for the two combines, each a pretty penny, so we're talking a monthly payment of $8,000.
Wow.
Yeah, don't you know that? Let's forget this right now. I'll visit you in the spring.
Look, I can do this as a loan. The $8,000 for the mortgage, and what, about $2,000 more for the airline ticket? $10,000 and nothing less.
I just knew you were something special from the moment you said hello.
That's so sweet. Could you hold for just a moment? Well, you heard us. Excuse me, but I'm all kind of fluttery. A cowboy from Montana? This just doesn't happen every day. Now I'm just going to ask him where to send the money. I'm ready to live again.
Betty, you don't even know his name. I don't think you should send a complete stranger money.
What? Oh, not sure he said his name, but I don't think he's a complete stranger. I feel like I've known him for years.
It looks like you are ready to send $10,000 to someone you just met on the phone and don't even know his name. I don't think you've made a love connection, Betty. I think you are talking to someone who is a scammer. How many people here think Betty should hang up on what's his name? How many people would like to would want Betty to give him $10,000 so that they can visit her? How many people think what's his name has probably done this before? Please, everyone, give Betty some help. Begin chanting, hang up, hang up, hang up. Hang up.
Betty doll. Hello, darling. Hello, Betty. I thought I snagged her for sure. I wonder what happened. I'll just call her again later. Looks like I have time now to call Helen from Holden. Another successful day of dialing for dollars. So again, that gives the caller the opportunity to find out her name, to find out the husband's name, so he can do research. Find out that the husband left her in good financial condition. If you asked her before the call, would you ever tell anybody these things? She said, oh, of course not. But they have the skill. The other thing is, the caller was using emotional dependence on getting her to to release some of this information. Maybe no one's paid attention to this woman in a number of years, and to hear a man's voice or to have a conversation with a man was brought back memories or was helpful or whatever. So this is how they get into your personal information without you even realizing. And just imagine, didn't know his name, didn't know much about anything except that somebody paid attention and wanted to come visit him. So now, scene 3.
Oh, Sherry again. What'd you forget, Sherry?
No, I don't think this is Sherry. Who is this?
Mary Lou Landers. Who is this?
This is someone who's been trying to reach you about your grandson.
What's this about? Why are you calling me about Ted? Is everything okay?
Well, not really, Mary. I'm afraid Ted has had a bit of a rough patch.
What's wrong? Where's Teddy?
Well, he's here, and I know he wants to speak with you. It's just that he's worried you'll be upset.
Now you let me speak with Ted right this minute.
Hi, Graham. Is this you?
Teddy, yes, it's me. Are you okay? What's this about?
I'm sorry, Mary, but they had to take Ted. Maybe you can speak to him later.
What do you mean they had to take Teddy? I want to know right now.
Well, Ted has asked me to represent him. I'm his lawyer. Or I will be if you're willing and able to help. Are you, Mary?
Of course I am, but why does Teddy need a lawyer?
Well, as I understand it, the charges against him include leaving the scene of an accident and causing bodily harm. Basically, he's a hit-and-run driver.
Oh no.
Well, yes, he and his buddies crossed the border not too far from here.
The border? What border?
The Mexican border. Oh, I guess you didn't know he was going to Mexico.
He didn't say he was going to Mexico.
Well, he sure probably would have been better off staying at home, but yeah, he's here in Mexico and he's in jail.
Oh, this is just awful, just awful. Please, I need to call my son, Ted's father, and let him know. He'll help. He'll know exactly what to do.
I'm sorry, Mary, but Ted is so afraid of what his dad will think of him, he doesn't want him to know.
But...
I know. These kids worry about the wrong stuff. Maybe Ted should have been worried about the little girl he hit before he decided to drive off.
What? Oh, no.
I have to be honest with you, Mary. She's touch and go. She may not make it.
I just wish there was something I could do.
Well, there is something you could do, Mary. I'm sure you don't want your Teddy to have to spend one night in a Mexican jail. The one here is particularly bad compared to the others I've seen. You could help with that.
How?
Well, you could wire money, and then I could pay his bail, I could get him a dinner, I could get him into a nice hotel.
You could handle all that?
Oh, yes, of course. That and representing him in court. He needs a good lawyer, and if you believe what the folks around here say, I'm a good lawyer. Plus, I speak Spanish and English. Habla Espanol?
What?
I didn't think so.
How much?
Well, I know enough Spanish to get by in court.
No. How much money? Don't you have to do this quickly? Let's get going. Poor Teddy.
Well, let me do the math. $750 for that, plus another $900. That's $1,650 plus, well, just for the court costs. For the bail, well, you just can't tell. My guess would be that $30,000 cover that. Ted wouldn't be the kind of kid who would skip off on his bail, would he?
No, not my grandson. He never would. Not Ted.
Oh, well, that's good. So between this and that and some sundries, it looks like you need to wire about $36,000. That should cover everything until the trial begins.
Trial?
Well, if that little girl dies, there'll definitely be a trial.
Oh, no.
Hello? Are you okay? You sound upset, Mary. Are you up to this?
I am, but I've never sent a money wire before. You'll have to tell me what to do next.
Well, why don't you go to your bank before it closes? I'll stay on the line with you and walk you through it.
All right, that seems like the best thing to do.
Oh, it is, Mary. You're such a wonderful grandmother. Ted is a very lucky young man.
Excuse me, would you please hold on just 1 minute?
Is there a problem, Mary?
No problem. I'll just be a minute.
Okay, I'll wait. But, we don't want that bank to close.
So some of you are friends of mine, from the Worcester Senior Center and from the Douglas Senior Center, and I want to know what you think I should do. Do you think I should send the money?
Oh, hey, Gary. You don't even know this lawyer's name. How do you know he's not making this stuff up? You didn't even know Ted would be in Mexico. Maybe he's not there at all. Maybe none of this is true. Am I right?
I hear what you're saying. You're right. I need to find out more, but what should I do right now?
Gary, I think you should hang up. Hang up. Hang
Hang
up.
up, hang up.
Money makes the world go round, world go round, world go round. Hello, Mary? Mary, are you there? Mary? I must have lost the connection. I'll call her back. She'll send the money once she finds out that Teddy just got beaten up by a jail gang. I think I'll tell her the little girl died. That'll get her really scared. That should work.
Who can tell me what the most troubling and the most ironic thing of that scene that's typical of most grandmothers?
Send the money.
Well, she gets a call that her wonderful grandson was involved in a hit and run. He was in jail, critically injured a young person. And a few minutes later, the lawyer asked her if her son will skip bail. Oh, not my Teddy. He would never do that. So grandmothers have that natural instinct. I have 2 grandkids. Believe me, when they come to my house, they can do anything they want. They live in San Francisco. I see them 3 or 4 times a year, and I let them do anything. My kids, they couldn't eat in a certain room. They had to wear a shirt for dinner, and I was pretty tough with them. So grandmothers have that instinct. The other thing is that a lot of these calls are made at night. What happens at night? You know, as I'm getting older, my bedtime is dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. They call at night when maybe you're a little tired from having a long day, a rough day, or your senses aren't as acute as they might be at 10 o'clock in the morning or 11. These people know that, so they call you at night. So that was a good example of again, somebody using emotions, knowing that a grandmother would respond, and again, you'd probably say, I would never give out the names of my grandchildren. Right away, you know, without him saying anything, he led her there, and she said Ted right away, and once he's got the name, boy, you hear people repeat the name, and that really tugs at the heartstrings. Yes, ma'am.
That happened to me, but the lawyer that you called was supposed to be my granddaughter. But I knew it wasn't my granddaughter, and she needed money.
Oh.
And I hung up, but I knew that wasn't my
Good for you. Round of applause. My mother's 93, and she'd kill me if she knew I was repeating this. But 3 years ago, she got swindled. They called up and said it was her grandson, and she did the same thing. She said, "Who, Peter?" Because that's the only grandson she had that was actively traveling. And he led her down the path. She went to Home Depot. She took out $1,000 of Home Depot cards, and they gave her instructions, so the cashier wired them to a certain number. She got home, and they said, "Oh, you know, there's another problem. We need another 1,000. She went, got another 1,000. So after $2,000, she started to catch on. Now, she was a bright woman. She was an accountant at UMass. So she was a bright woman, knew about money. But her first instinct was protect my grandchildren. Now, why she didn't call me or my grandson, say, "Excuse me," and what they did is they gave her a number to call the police department to confirm, which she did, which was obviously a fake number, and some cohort was sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, I'm Sergeant so-and-so," and this and that. So, you know, they'll give you numbers, and this is their business. They work as hard at this as you all did at your professions. Next, we're going to go to computers, and on the computer, you don't know if it's a male, a female, anything like that. So we're going to go to a scene with on a computer, a couple people looking for a love connection, and unfortunately involved was a hoax. You have to use your imagination. That's why I put my back to Betty, because you got to use your imagination that they're not sitting next to each other when you do it.
Okay, sweetie pie. I can feel that we are going to have a great day. Can you believe that you have turned out to be my best and only friend in the world? I know, neither can I, but you are. Now, who did you bring me today? Log on into the Love is in the Air site. I don't know what it is about this site, but it sure brings the best and easy ones. Okay, the password is FOOL, fool, number 4, LUV, love. That's it, sweetie pie. We're in. Let's see who's interested in little old me. No, not you, baby. No, not you either. Now you look promising. Let's see. Says here you are early 70s. Good. Have all of your own hair. Okay, I guess that's something. Looking for kind-hearted woman for good company. Translation, you need someone to cook and clean for you. Good dresser who appreciates the finer things. Translation, you need someone to do your laundry and clean your clothes. Must love dogs. What? Translation, you must need someone to walk your dog. Wow, wow, grr. But I think you are perfect.
What a morning. Have a really good feeling about LOVES is in the AIR there. Love is in the air. Let's see who's interested in Edmund. As my dear departed Claire used to say, Edmund, you are irresistible. I wonder how you are supposed to weed out the ones you don't care for and would hate to hurt someone's feelings. Oh well, guess there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, here goes. STILL, got it, 72. Still got it, 72. Where did they go, huh? 1, 2, 3. That's it. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned the dogs. Oh well, maybe this one is a good place to begin. Wow, what have we here? She's quite the looker. I'm not wasting any time. Dear Lovely in the Morning, your message to me on the Love is in the Air website caught my attention.
Caught my attention. There were so many responses to my post that I had a difficult time deciding who to contact. But it's you. Ring-a-ding-doo, how lucky am I. It is clear that the best way to this man's pocket is through flattery. So here goes.
From your description, you sound perfect. I find myself wondering if you like a woman's fingers running through your hair. You've got great hair. I've got the fingers for you. Hope to hear back from you soon. Signed, Lovely in the Morning. I'll just bet you are.
Oh, I see I've got a reply from Mr. I Love Myself. Dear Love
Lovely, what is the best way for us to meet? I don't even know where you live. As for me, I live outside Indianapolis. Good, the Midwest. These guys are like picking fruit. If you are from the area, that would be nice. Mister, I would never live in the Midwest. Too much corn, too many cows, and no escape. Bunch of hayseeds. I would love to take you to dinner though, and...
Maybe go to a movie or square dancing.
Square dancing? Are you for real?
My wife Claire used to say that I could really do-si-do.
I'll bet you could. Poor Claire. You probably killed her with your do-si-do.
Well, please, let me hear from you about a visit. Signed, Edmund.
Edmund, I suppose Rocky or something else with some testosterone was too much to hope for. Okay, Edmund, I'm coming for you. Dear Edmund, what a strong name you have. I like a man with a strong name. And I like a man who knows what he wants. In fact, I think I like you, Edmund. So yes, I would love to visit. Trouble is, I'm under a lot of work pressure right now. So I don't know when I could get there. Oh, and I live in Miami.
Florida?
Florida. Hope you don't change your mind because I'm so far away. Mostly though, it's the work thing. Say, maybe you could help me a little bit with that. It wouldn't take much time, but you could be a big, big help. Listen, why don't we chat privately? I can make it so that no other girl bothers you on this site. It would be just the two of us. I think I would like that, Edmund. What do you say? Signed, Lovely.
This is great. She wants me all for herself. Dear Lovely, whatever I can do to help you, I will do. If it will get you here any sooner, then that's better.
Dear Edmund, I run a small business, and for various reasons, some of the packages I send need to be mailed from different locations. It's not too complicated, and if you don't have time to help me, I'll understand. Oh, in case you're wondering, it won't cost you a dime.
Dear Lovely, sounds easy enough. Sure, why not? Just send instructions.
Gotcha! You are such a sweet man.
Dear Lovely in the morning, it sounds terrific. While I'm at it, I'd love to pay for your airline ticket. What's the best way to do that? Cannot wait to meet you. From what you wrote the other day, I can just picture you. Steamy redhead, all legs and pouty lips.
Plenty of curves, yep, that's me. Now I'll just get you to forward your address and we're in business. Edmund dear, I'll need your mailing address for those labels. Aren't you so kind to purchase my airline ticket all the way from Miami to Indiana? Can't imagine what that would cost. You can just send it to my post office box. A cashier's check would be best because my bank is being reconstructed. You know, one bank buys another and there's a name change and so on and so on. Silly, really. Signed, Lovely in the morning.
Dear Lovely, what's happened? Why haven't you emailed? Did I do something wrong? Sure, there were more boxes than I thought there'd be, but I mailed every single one for you, according to the directions you gave me. When are you coming to Indianapolis? I thought you were going to buy your ticket right away, but I sent you the money 4 months ago. Please, please, let me hear from you, Lovely. Edmund. Dear Lovely, hey, who are you anyway? I'm in a world of trouble because of you. You had me sending cases and cases of fraudulent cashier's checks all around the country. The postal inspector traced them to me, and I'm being prosecuted. And all because I tried to help. I used to dream about you. Your red hair, long legs. Is your hair really red?
Is your hair really?
It wasn't.
Again, it just shows how emotional connections can be used to get people to open their pocketbooks and share some money. Before I forget, this is funded, our program is funded by the government. So we're going to pass out evaluation forms. If you don't mind just taking a minute to check them off and we'll collect them. But to finish up, we're all vulnerable. It doesn't matter how old we are. I'm sure there's 30-year-old people getting taken every day, but it's much easier for folks that get to be our age. So we ask that never give out any personal information. Sometimes it's easy. You're in a store and they want you to sign up for frequent flyer things or whatever. Don't give out any personal information. Don't use your social security number for anything either. Even the last 4 digits, a lot of things will say. I do a lot online. I was in the antique business for a while, and I bought a lot of things from the government auctions. And signing up, they would ask for the last 4 digits, and I would just make up a number, 000X. And they never challenged me on it. I was able to buy too many things, but never use it. Questions?
Just last week, my friend came over, because I got no cabs, the same one. It's on there, it said you have a virus. You call this number, and she didn't even know she already had the virus protection.
Oh.
Right? She's on the phone 5 hours.
Oh my goodness.
By the time she got through, she said she would buy protection for $250 and put it on a debit card. I saw her the next day. I said, that's a scam. And so she did call and canceled, and hopefully she won't have to pay it. But she said, I emotionally, they put me through the ringer, so I think, I would have given them anything after 5 hours.
5 hours. Somebody has a lot of.
Last week.
Somebody has a lot of
Don't
patience.
call that number when it gets on the screen.
And it's important too, you don't call the company that you have the agreement with. You call your credit card company and say, stop payment on this.
They're looking into it, but I
Yeah.
don't think she's gonna have to pay.
I'm glad you brought that up, because the frustrating thing with all this has been so perfected that it's virtually impossible to catch any of these scammers. They use what's called throwaway telephones, so you can't track the number. They've got it down to a science. But don't use it. My license doesn't have my social security number on it. It has another number that they assign to me. So don't give out your personal information. Don't. You get that call that you want a free vacation to the Bahamas. Be very suspect of it. But that's one of the most common ones right now. Before tax time, it was the IRS call, where they would call you and say that they were going to save you money, or you were going to be thrown in jail.
Correct.
Very common is this one, where they call you and tell you that they're with Microsoft and they detected a problem and you have a worm or a virus in your computer, but we can take care of it for you and sign up for this service. So it changes frequently. The senior center gets bulletins from the FBI that tells of different things in our area that are going on, so that we can be prepared. And we've shared information here with Sandy of resources and of examples of things that happen. So we encourage you not to give out any personal information, and it could be relatives doing this to you. It could be a long lost cousin or a daughter or a son. Who knows? Could be anybody setting you up for this. So, any other questions?
No, but I just wanted to say on the grandson, when I asked for $36,000, that would turn me on right, would turn me off right away.
Well, don't forget, they've done,
Smaller amounts, I could have.
well, they've done some research. For example, a lot of times they're getting these names from obituaries. And what do we put in the obituaries? We put things in that would make the person proud. So we put in it that he owned the JSY Wire Company, or he was president of the Wachusett Bank, or whatever. So they have what's called, what's the word when you screen things on your computer? Filters. They have filters that they put into their data. So they have a list of just people that they assume to be wealthy. Okay, and so they go for the higher priced. They only asked me for $100 when I called. So that's easy.
I just wanted to reiterate something Peter had said. Those questionnaires, if you wouldn't mind filling those out, we're having some more copies made. So just take a minute, there's just a checkbox regarding the presentation. If you could help us out with that, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for being a great audience, and you have a great facility here, and I love the programs you do. I might come back to do the Tai Chi. It's pretty interesting. Thank you.